Good evening, Hebrew Israelite family. It's Raw Wednesdays, back to a little bit normal. We haven't been normal for a little while now, but we're back to our Raw Wednesdays, which are current event Wednesdays. And as you can see from the thumbnail, we have four individuals in the thumbnail today. One of them is Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse was made famous because he killed two people. He shot three people with an AR-15 rifle when he was 17 years old as they were protesting in Kenosha, Wisconsin. He was found not guilty because of self-defense. There's George Zimmerman, who shot a young 17-year-old black boy for carrying Skittles through his neighborhood. He was found innocent by virtue of self-defense against the Skittles. Then there is lately Rick Chow. Rick Chow killed a 14-year-old boy because he thought the boy stole bottles of water. He chased the boy down the road from his store and shot him and killed him with the child's handgun. He was found not guilty by self-defense. Then there is Carmelo Anthony, who was at a track meet in 2025, and a white boy was threatening him and bullying him, and he stabbed the white boy to death when he was both 17. He was found guilty of murder, and they said they were merciful in giving him 35 years in prison. Okay. The difference between the first three and the last one is obvious. So let's start our Bible study today with this. Amos chapter 9. Amos chapter 9. And again, brothers and sisters, I would admonish you to please read your Bible. The King James Bible, I find to be the word of the Most High. There is a gentleman out here saying Jesus didn't exist. In other words, he's not just casting doubt on white Jesus, who didn't exist, on Hebrew Israelite Jesus, who didn't exist with white Jesus Christianity. He's saying the whole Bible is wrong because there was no Jesus. And so he's allowed to do that. He is free to believe whatever he wants. But I am just conveying that while he is free to believe whatever he wants, I am convicted that the King James Bible is the word of the Creator to the Creator's people. Let me say that again. He can believe whatever he wants. I am convicted that the King James Bible is the word of the Creator to the Creator's people. And we must be careful when we say things like these, like this man, Jesus didn't exist. There is no such thing. We must be careful because many people who make such statements never took the time to actually read through the Bible. And I think this is another case of that, where you don't take the time, you just accept what Christianity teaches you as if Christianity represents the Bible. This is a mistake. Okay, this is a bad mistake. If you actually read the Bible, you might have a more balanced opinion. And this is the thing, again, there's the way man looks at things, and there's the way the Creator looks at things. Okay? There's a way man thinks about things, and there's a way the Creator thinks about things. First, let's look at Amos chapter 9, and then we're going to go from Amos chapter 9. Exactly, Stephen Kelly. That's exactly right. I wouldn't say anything to him. I didn't even, I've seen videos with him, didn't really watch the whole video, but I didn't even bother. See, brothers and sisters, again, we talked about debating with people. That's why we don't need to prove ourselves right to ignorant people. We don't need to prove ourselves right to anybody. Y'all should remember that. Somebody's going to challenge you to prove what you believe and to prove that it's true. Never accept such a challenge. You remember how the Messiah answered Pilate and how he answered the Sanhedrin when they challenged him. How did the Messiah, what was his answer to the Sanhedrin and to Herod when they challenged him as to his teachings and his beliefs? What was his answer? What did he say? He didn't say anything. He told Pilate, you would have no power at all except it was given you from above. Therefore, they that delivered me to you have the greater sin. That's about all he said. And he told the Sanhedrin, you shall see the Son of Man coming with power and the right hand of power in the clouds of heaven. And that's when they said he's guilty of death. So before that, he didn't say anything. When he was before Pilate, he didn't say nothing. I mean, before Pilate, before Herod, he didn't say nothing. Okay, he didn't say nothing. And that's how we answer that. We don't have to answer it. We don't have to challenge them. We don't have to say anything. See, sometimes I do say something to people in the chat boxes of their videos, and the reason I do is because I am hoping they would research it further of what they're saying. If they come back with some answer that shows me they're not, I leave it alone. I don't want to go back and forth. See me? You feel me? So that's what we're saying. So here, Amos chapter 9. Amos chapter 9, which we have read recently, and we're going to read it again tonight because of the situation. Amos chapter 9, I'm going to start at verse 9. And I'm going to read from verse 9. And I'm going to go from verse 9 down to verse 12. Amos chapter 9, from verse 9 to verse 12. Amos chapter 9, from verse 9 to verse 12. Then we're going to go to its sister text in the book of Acts. Amos 9:9. For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations. Like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up in his ruins, and will build it as in the days of old. Verse 12. That they may possess the remnant of Edom, and of all the heathen, which are called by my name, saith Yhwh that doeth this. So there's going to be a remnant of Edom and a remnant of all the heathen. Let's look at the sister text. Acts chapter 15. Acts chapter 15. James quotes the sister text. I'm going to start at verse 13 of Acts chapter. Actually, let me start at verse 12, if you will. And I'll go from verse 12 to verse 17. Okay. Acts chapter 15 from verse 12 to verse 17. James is actually quoting Amos here. Okay. Then all the multitude kept silence and gave audience to Barnabas and Paul, declaring what miracles and wonders Yhwh had wrought among the Gentiles by them. And after they had held their peace, James answered, saying, Men and brethren, hearken unto me. Simeon hath declared how Yhwh at the first did visit the Gentiles to take out of them a people for his name. And to this agree the words of the prophets, as it is written, after this I will return and will build again the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down. And I will build again the ruins thereof, and I will set it up, that the residue of men might seek after Yhwh and all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called, saith Yhwh, who doeth this. You see, brothers and sisters, many of our, and this is the thing I want y'all to understand. Those of us that know we're of the bloodline because we are the descendants of slaves, and there are those of us that know they're not of the bloodline because they're not descendants of slaves, but they're European. We call those people children of Yhwh'S because they come from the third son of Noah, Japheth, whereas the bloodline comes from Shem. So when the Europeans that are in Israel, the state of Israel, call us anti-Semite, it is a laughable and ridiculous accusation, for we are the original Semites. But the problem is this. Among the heathen, among the children of Yhw'S, most of them look alike. Various forms of look-alike. You can't tell by looking at them who's the ones that hate you and who's the ones that don't. Muhammad Ali once said, there's 10,000 snakes trying to kill me. How do I tell the 3 or 4 that are not trying to kill me out of the 10,000? That's what he said. And it's true. So how would we know the heathen that are called by Yah's name? How would we know? Well, let's let the word show us. First off, right? Let's let the word show us. Isaiah chapter 60. Isaiah chapter 60. This is very easy, actually. Isaiah chapter 60. Notice what it says here in Isaiah chapter 60. I'm going to start at verse 1 of Isaiah 60 and go down from verse 1 to verse 6. Isaiah chapter 60 from verse 1 to verse 6. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yahweh is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. They come to thee. Wait, let me read that again, please. Bear with me and please tell me what it's talking about here. Isaiah 60 verse 4. It says, lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They gather themselves together. They come to thee. Who is the they that gather themselves together, and who is the thee that they're coming to? I want you to think about that. They gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. Who is thee that the abundance of the sea is converted to? That's right. The heathen coming to Yasha'ah. Look. And the forces of the Gentiles shall come to thee. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold in its incense. They shall show forth the praises of Yahweh. You know, I had a dream many years ago, before I actually was awakened. I had this dream. And in the dream, I was stuck somewhere. My car broke down in some place. And I walked in, there was an automobile mechanic shop. And I walked in to get my car. And there was these redneck looking people. They had on overalls. They looked like they come out of some backwoods somewhere, the reddest of the rednecks. And so I was beginning to put my guards up in my mind. And then one of them stepped forward in my dream and said, we fixed your car and we're not going to charge you. As a matter of fact, we're going to give you a check for an offering. And I was surprised in the dream. These people looked like they would lynch me, but they were on my side. And it showed me that you can't tell by looking at someone if they're for you or against you. And look here, as we have mentioned many times, As we have mentioned many times, you can't tell by looking at you, but the people that are with you, and there's no such thing as race. Now, not in the Bible. So look, Shirley Chisholm, a former lawyer from Brooklyn. Well, she was Barbadian, but her family's Barbadian, but she grew up in Brooklyn. She made this quote. She said, racism is so universal in this country, meaning the United States, so widespread and deep-seated that it is invisible because it is so normal. Now, this is the thing. You can't tell by looking at a person if they're with you or not. And also, a person just can't say, I'm not a racist, to think that they're your friend. No, what we just read in the word, it says, they come to thee. It says, what did it say, verse 4? It says, they gather themselves, they come to thee. Then in verse 6, it says, they shall come and bring gold incense. They shall show forth the praises of Yahweh. It says, they shall be converted unto you. So how do you know the heathen that are on your side? They're converted to you. They're coming to you. You're the holy ones. You're the true people. They're the ones that are saying, you're the true people. They're not just saying, I'm not racist. See, because race, as we said many times, that's a man-made concept. It's not a biblical concept. It's a man-made concept. So to say you're not with the man-made concept, that don't mean nothing. Are you down with us? Are you down with us? Are you coming to us? Are you part of us? See, brothers and sisters, look here. I don't need a blood test, though I've taken one. I don't need one to know who I am. You know why? I could just see my family. That's all I need. My grandmother was raped by a white man when she was 13 years old, a preacher in Florida here. Then she got married. She had children with the man she married, a brother from Georgia. They came up to Long Island, and then her husband died. After her husband died, she started cleaning houses. My grandmother, a dark-skinned sister from Florida, and cleaning the house of the chief of police, his son raped her, and she got pregnant with my father. See, I know my family history. I know where we come from. That's why I know who I am. I didn't need the blood test to tell me I got African roots. I didn't need that. I know who I am. Now, why did I say that? Listen, you can be of European roots, or you don't even know, but it doesn't matter. You know why? Take your stand with us. You hear me? John Brown didn't appear to be any Hebrew. John Brown took his stand with us and died fighting for us. You hearing what I'm saying? Okay? You hearing what I'm saying? So, you may not know what your bloodline is. Assume you're a heathen and take your stand with us then. Look here. Back to Isaiah. Isaiah 56. One of my favorite chapters in the Bible is Isaiah 56. Watch this. Isaiah 56. Yeah, you said look at your family. That's all you got to do. Because the curses of Deuteronomy 28 flow in your family. You understand? And when you understand that, and you can go back in your family history and know you come from slaves, they're your bloodline right there. I could just go to my, once in a while when I was a little boy, when they was alive, they're all dead now. But my aunts and uncles on my father's side, and he looked completely different, obviously, than all the rest of them. They would have cookouts sometimes, 4th of July sometimes, at my aunt's house. All I had to do was see them. And I knew our history, just looking at them, just seeing them, hearing them talk, fight, cut each other. I knew where I come from. Okay? I know where I come from. Understand? It took me a while until I was really awakened to put it all together. Okay? To put it all together. But my family showed me. They showed me. My father told me about my grandmother. And they showed me. I know. Okay? I understand. I understood my father better when I came down here, as I mentioned many times. The last 2 years of his life, I understood him better than the whole other time I was alive on the earth. because I awakened and know who I was. See? Now, Isaiah 56, beginning at verse 1. Isaiah 56, beginning at verse 1. Thus saith Yahweh, keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the son of man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil. Neither let the son of the stranger that hath joined himself to Yahweh speak, saying, Yahweh hath utterly separated me from his people. This is a person that knows he's of European descent or Hamitic and knows he's not a Hebrew, right? Stranger. They have joined themselves to Yahweh speak, saying, Yahweh hath utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch, a eunuch can't have children, either because he's born that way or men made him that way, right? Behold, I'm a dry tree. But thus saith Yahweh unto the eunuchs that keep my Shabbats, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant. Even unto them will I give in mine house and within my walls a place and a name better than of sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Also the sons of the strangers that join themselves to Yahweh to serve him and to love the name of Yahweh, to be his servant, everyone that keepeth the Shabbat from polluting it and taketh hold of my covenant, even them will I bring to my holy mount and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon my altar, for my house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. See, you got to be down with us. You want to show us you're not racist? You got to be down with us. You just can't be saying, I'm not racist. That's not good enough. Hey, how many times have you, the Hebrew bloodline, how many times have you met people of your faith that claim they're not racist and you know daggone well they was? Right? I'm not prejudiced. Right? How many times have we heard that? I mean, I can't even count. I'm not prejudiced. Really? Okay. So look, you can't just, that's not good enough. You gotta be down with us. You gotta come to us. You gotta join with us. I'm not telling you to join a church. I'm not telling you, listen, somebody told me the other day they were listening to a short that came out of one of my videos about debating. And they were saying, so you don't want to argue with, you don't want to talk about somebody with opposite thing. I said the video was about debating. See, so people, again, people are so used to taking little snippets and getting a gotcha moment. That's the thing these days from their computer or whatever. It's a shame. But brothers and sisters, this is not about that. You want to be down with the Hebrews or don't you? Because if you down with us, the whole world's against you. See, brothers and sisters, another thing we can know about us is, look here, the children of Yhwh, as we have said many times. See, children of Yhwh are so defensive about their history. If they're not lying about the history, they're defensive about the truth. The truth is, they came out of Portugal, killed millions of us, and took what's now Brazil. And took it. Okay, and Congo. The Belgians came down there chopping people's arm off, took the Congo. The Dutch came down to South Africa, took it over. Claimed it's their land. They discovered it. The Spanish, oh God. Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cuba. The Spanish, Mexico, Central America, South America, took over. And then Philippines. The English, the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Cook Islands, the English. The Europeans then colonized the earth. And after they did that, after they colonized all those places I just named to you and divided the land for gain, as Daniel 11 says, then they created this thing called race. And they divided the whole world. They did. By this thing they created called race. And they declared that themselves are Caucasians and they're the superior race. That's how you got racism. Okay? But the Bible doesn't do it that way. The Bible says you from Shem, Ham, or Yhwh. If you're from Shem and you come through Eber, the Hebrew, and you come through Abraham, you're the chosen seed. Abraham's son Isaac, Isaac's son Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. You're the chosen seed. Now, you may not have come through that bloodline. You may not have been slaves in your background. You might not have been like us, but you can still join us. You can still say, I'm down with y'all. Y'all are the true Hebrews. I'm down with y'all. That'll show us. That'll show us. You make that statement. You down with us? We come to you, Isaiah said. From the forces of the Gentiles, we come to you. Okay, now you down with us. You might look like some of the heathen that's trying to kill us, but like the heathen that jumped in Carmelo Anthony's face and caught the wrath that he deserved. But you are declared to be down with us. You might look like George Zimmerman, Rick Chow, or Kyle Rittenhouse, but you down with us. You declare you down with us. See, none of them dudes would do that. None of them would do that. Okay? And why? Why are we attacked? Because of our race? Well, no, really. The race is just used to signify who we really are. See, the devil is using this thing he calls the heathen to create called race. Let me say that again. The devil is using this thing that he calls the heathen to create called race to point out the Hebrews and kill them. He is using this thing called entertainment to hire Hebrews and make them gods so that people really think an entertainer is your leader. And people really think an entertainer is your leader. This is how backwards everything is. But see, the word show us who the true Hebrews are. The word show us who the people that want to join with the true Hebrews are. Again, Romans chapter 3. Yes, Romans chapter 3. Romans chapter 3. Yes, you know what, Akawambanya? I was just looking at that this morning. Akawamba, I was just looking at that this morning. Look at this. Look at this. What he just quoted, I was looking at today in Romans chapter 1, actually. Look at this. Romans chapter 1, verse 25. Romans chapter 1, verse 25. Notice what it says here. Who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie. You're talking about people that change Yah's truth into a lie. As Daniel said, they shall practice and prosper and cast the truth to the ground. They change the truth of Yah into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator who is blessed forever. Amen. So Satan, the devil, has people worshiping things that man creates and things that the Most High created to worship man and to worship the creation instead of worshiping the creator, and change Yah's truth into lies. So look what he did. You have a brown skinned, melanated tribe of Judah, Messiah. They changed him into a European, centralized, blonde head, blue-eyed heathen. And then they use another from the tribe of Benjamin, a black man that looked like an Egyptian named Paul, and turned him into the author of this Christianity. They changed the truth into a lie. And what they're doing is using this thing called race to divide everybody and then pick out the true Hebrews and kill us. Kyle Rittenhouse, self-defense. George Zimmerman, self-defense. Rick Chow, self-defense. Carmelo Anthony, guilty of murder, 35 years. And we're being easy on you because we didn't give you life in prison. See, brothers and sisters, Shirley Chisholm didn't know who she was. So she talked about racism. And this is the point I'm making. What she said was, the European that has colonized the entire planet and its religion has so ingrained this theory of man, of race, into the minds and consciousness of the world, especially every place that they say they discovered, that it's so normal, people don't even recognize it anymore. It's normal. That's what she's saying. It's so normal, it's invisible. Now, that's a shame. When you put forth a lie so strongly, so deeply, so heavily ingrained in every place you go that people don't even know anything except what you taught them about race. Amazing, isn't it? Sad too. But soon they're going to be surprised and overwhelmed by what hits them. Romans also, I just wanted to give that as a second witness. Romans chapter 3. Romans chapter 3. Beginning at verse 28 and going down to verse 30. Romans chapter 3 from verse 28 to 30. Romans 3, 28 to 30. Therefore, we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law. Is he the most high of the Jews only? Is he not also of the Gentiles? Yes, of the Gentiles also. Seeing it is one most high, which shall justify the circumcision by faith and the uncircumcision through faith. So he says again what Isaiah showed us and what Amos shows us. You see, Christianity teaches you must come to white Jesus. We're saying no. You must come down with us, the Hebrews, the true Hebrews. You must understand who we are and take your stand with us. You want to say you're not racist? Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. They come to thee, the Bible says. They come to thee, you. You Hebrews, they come to you. That's how you know they down with you. They come to you. They join with you. They want to worship your God. Acts chapter 10. Acts chapter 10. Actually, Acts chapter 10, beginning at verse 1. Acts chapter 10, beginning at verse 1, and going from verse 1 down to verse 7. Acts chapter 10, from verse 1 to 7. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band. So this man was a European. He was a European. He wasn't the bloodline. Okay. Verse 2. A devout man and one that feared Yahweh with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed Yahweh always. So he was devout to the Hebrews' God. Do you understand? He wasn't devout to white Jesus. He was devout to the Hebrews, to their God. He was a proselyte from the Europeans. Okay. With all his house. And he gave alms to the people, that is to the Hebrews, and prayed to Yahweh always. You need to understand this. He wasn't praying to Christianity. He was devout to the Hebrew God. Okay. He saw in the vision, evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of Yahweh coming into him and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, master? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before Yahweh. Now send men to Joppa and call for one Shimon, whose surname is Peter or Kapha. He lodgeth with one Simon or Shimon, a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. And when the angel of Yahweh spake, when the angel which spake with Cornelius was departed, he called 2 of his household servants and a devout soldier of them that waited on him continually. So he said, Go get this Hebrew man. The Hebrew God has heard your prayers. Go get listen now, the Hebrew God has heard your prayers. Go get the Hebrew man, and he'll tell you what you should do. You see what's happening here? A non-bloodline man believes in the God of the bloodline. Listen now. A non-bloodline man believes in the God of the bloodline, not in white Jesus, not in the God of Ronald Reagan. No. Or Donald Trump's. No. The God of the Hebrew. An angel came to him and said, go get Kafir. He's going to teach you what you got to do. Go get this Hebrew man. Let him teach you what you got to do. The angel could have taught. Angel talked to Samson's parents about how to eat before he was born. Angel talked to Isaac's wife before she bore Edom and Jacob before they were born. Angel talked to Jacob and said, okay, it's time for you to leave after he became Israel. But this angel didn't talk to this man like that. He said, go get Kafir. He's going to teach you. You got to be down with us. Otherwise, you are. And listen, if you're not down with, let's see, we're at the point in Earth's history, brothers and sisters. See, look, when I saw what happened with Carmelo Anthony today, I don't know about y'all, but I was mad as hell. I was burning mad. When I saw the sentence they gave him and trying to act like they did him a favor, I was mad, man. I was mad as hell. And I was just telling somebody, I was telling a brother when I went to my grandson's graduation, I was talking to a brother and I said, and he was a Hebrew black man. And I said, as black men, we get generational anger. We don't even know why it is. It's just passed down from our ancestors to us. And brothers and sisters, I was so mad when I saw what happened today. I just wanted to kill. I was very angry. But see, I understood in my mind, see, brothers and sisters, that's not our nature. That's not the nature of the Hebrew. We don't just go kill people like that. That's not us. And the Most High caused me to see that, see? Because every man, what James Baldwin was said, is so ingrained in us, it's rage. And and I know, we can see it in all our families. And I told my son that. I said, I got it from my father, who got it from his mother, who passed it to me. And I said, I gave it to you. And I implored you to not give it to my grandkids. See, it's generational rage. They caused it. But see, because we're human beings, we're human beings. And that's really what it comes down to, see. Even for the heathen, when you create racism and you separate people by race and you make one people more accountable, more punished than others, you're not just killing black people, you're hurting human beings. You're hurting the whole creation. You're hurting the thing that the Most High has put together. You are destroying humans. And then trying to act as if you had nothing to do with it. Okay? So when I saw what happened with Brother Carmelo Anthony, man, I was mad. But I'm going through some other stuff, as y'all know, I told you. So I couldn't focus on it, and I didn't really want to because I didn't want to get any more angry. And y'all know exactly how, brothers, y'all know exactly how I feel. I'm not even saying anything that you don't understand and have experienced yourself. The heathen can't understand that, except the heathen that come to us. The heathen that come to us, that become part of us, that worship our God, like Cornelius, they understand. You don't have to, they understand. They understand. And they want to understand more. They want to look deeper at this. They're not making any excuses. They're not trying to defend themselves or their forefathers. Just like us. When we repent of our sin and the sin of our forefathers. They do the same thing. See, when they come to us, they're repenting of their sins and the sins of their fathers. They're doing the same thing. And they're down with us. Okay? They're down with us. So, brothers and sisters, that's how you could tell. The heathen called by Yah's name follow Yah, understanding who Yah's true people are. That's not hard. Anybody else is suspect. Anybody else is suspect. And because of how we are as human beings, that the Father has given us that spirit, even they're suspect, we still treat them with respect, don't we? We still try to move in peace, shalom, right? Even when we know who they are. Messiah knew who Judas was. Didn't change how he acted toward Judas. Didn't change how he acted toward Judas. He didn't put off Judas. He didn't talk with the other disciples, say, watch this man. Nope. He knew who he was. Okay? We know who they are. Until they show us otherwise, we know who they are. Okay? But it's okay. It's okay. Okay? So we understand what's coming to them. Revelation has shown us what is coming to them. All the prophets speak the same thing. We've read them. Joel shows us. Isaiah shows us. Jeremiah shows us. Ezekiel shows us what's coming to them. All of them and more show us what's coming to them. Micah, Malachi, they all show us what's coming to them. So we know they're getting ready to catch it. We can see it coming. They may not be able to until it's too late. But we see it coming. So we stay cool. Especially us who are now in this present truth that understand who we really are and understand what time it is in the history of the planet. We know it's coming. We know it's coming. So we stay cool, even though we're filled with rage and anger from what they have done to our brothers like Carmelo Anthony, what they have done to our brothers like the one that George Zimmerman killed, like the brother that Kyle Rittenhouse shot, like the brother that Rick Chow shot in the back, 14 years old. And many, 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 many others. Many, 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 many others. Hundreds of us killed by them for no other reason than who we look like. But it's almost over. The ones that look like all the others, but they're down with us, they differentiate themselves by being down with us. And their own cousins know the difference, and their own cousins get mad at them because they're down with us, because of who we are. Really comes down to that. It's not our color of skin, although the part of the skin color is the color of the people from the past that are us. It's because of the bloodline. It's because of the bloodline, brothers and sisters. We're the bloodline. We praise the Most High. We praise the Most High that He has shown us the way to overcome what they tried to do to us, because light is more powerful than darkness, and because the lips of truth will stand forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. That's Bible. Lips of truth will stand forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Remember that? We just talked about no liars in the kingdom. There won't be. The people that come to us are speaking truth. Praise the Most High. That means they're different than the rest of them. They're different. They're down with us. Praise the Most High. Well, may the Most High protect and be with Brother Carmelo Anthony. May the brothers that's in the prisons protect him. May his appeal be strong. May he be found like he is, innocent. And may the Most High bless you and keep you, all of you, those the bloodline with us and the heathen that worship our God with us. May He cause His face to shine upon you all and be gracious unto you. May He lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace. Shalom.